If you want to get in contact with me, the best way to do it is on Instagram. If you just want to say what up, if you want to tell me you love my videos, you can tell me that you hate my videos, but the best way to do that is on Instagram. Peace, y'all. Jonny Fastlane here. So, a Kevin Gates sex tape leaks, and 2 people were found dead in Carl Crawford's pool over the weekend. Plus, Will Smith and Joyner Lucas link up. Let's talk hip-hop.
No, same way, any of them hoes, ask them how I'm coming when I drop dick, pull hair, eat your pussy from the back, then I drop dick, lock your kneecaps back, lean forward, hands behind your back.
Alright, so that was an old clip of Kevin Gates just like talking shit, right? But the whole situation is, this right here is a leaked sex tape of Kevin Gates, right? Well, I wouldn't really call it a sex tape, right? Because this leaked on Twitter like yesterday or the day before yesterday, right? And for y'all that don't know, Twitter is not like Instagram and not like YouTube, right? You can't put nudity on Instagram or YouTube. They're gonna take it down, they'll cancel your account, they'll like ban you from posting up something for the next 3 days or whatever the case may be. But on Twitter, you could put anything you want on there, right? So this thing leaked on Twitter, and it's really not a sex tape, because a sex tape would be a whole tape, and who uses tapes anymore? But this is like a 45-second clip of Kevin Gates taking a selfie, allegedly of Kevin Gates taking a selfie while he's just like hitting it from the back, right? So this whole situation is crazy. Now, I am no facial recognition, specialist, but this looks like Kevin Gates. I know what Kevin Gates looks like, right? Nigga got the same tattoos as Kevin Gates, and it sounds like Kevin Gates because this motherfucker is talking while he's doing it. He's like, point your toes, arch your back, like it's Kevin Gates, you know what I'm saying? Funny as hell, right? So of course Twitter had a field day about it. Somebody was like, it's one thing to cheat on your wife. First of all, who knows, right? And they could have, who knows what kind of relationship they have. Maybe they could have an open relationship. Just because you see him having sex with somebody else doesn't necessarily mean that he's cheating on his wife, because we all know that black men don't cheat, first of all, right? But whatever. So this person says, it's one thing to cheat on your wife. It's another thing to not wear a condom. And it's a third thing to be recording the video. Yikes, right? And it is funny as hell because Kevin Gates is like looking up. He got his face in it, he got everything in it, right? And if you are Kevin Gates, why would you put your face, unless he just thought it was for him? Maybe he sent it to that girl. I mean, I don't know, but that's Kevin Gates, yo. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. Alright, yo, this is crazy, right? Because the whole situation is Carl Crawford, and for y'all that don't know, Carl Crawford used to play baseball. He was a baseball player, but more recent than that, he's the CEO of 1501 Certified Entertainment, right? Which is Megan Thee Stallion's record label, right? So the whole situation is yesterday, or over the weekend, he was having like a get together in his crib. He lives in Houston, and in Houston, they're allowed to, we're all during quarantine, so a lot of people can't gather, but you're allowed to have at least 10 people or less gathered at one, location together, right? So Carl Crawford had a few people at his crib, I think like maybe 6 to 8 people there, right? One of those people was a little boy, 5-year-old, who ended up in his pool and, started drowning in the pool, right? Another woman, maybe like the kid's babysitter, because it wasn't the kid's mother, but somebody that was watching the kid, 25-year-old woman sees that, this little boy is drowning, jumps in the pool to try to save him, but then she drowns too, right? So 2 people dead in the pool of Carl Crawford's house. Carl Crawford tried to resuscitate them. Apparently, they called the ambulance. The ambulance came, and when the ambulance got there, they were already dead on arrival. So, then of course they take them. You see Carl Crawford is out front of his house, kind of like talking to the police, letting them know like his side of the story or whatever happened. He didn't get arrested because it's not like he murdered anybody or was any negligence or anything like that. I don't even think he was outside in the pool area. I think he was inside, chilling or doing whatever. And also, it wasn't illegal to have, those people at his house because it was less than 10 people. So at the end of the day, yo, it was just like a straight up and down tragedy, right? Recently, Carl Crawford Megan Thee Stallion actually got a restraining order against Carl Crawford because he didn't want to let her drop her last album that she dropped a couple weeks ago, Sugar, with Savage on there and B.I.T.C.H. So a Houston court actually upheld that restraining order so that Megan Thee Stallion can drop her album, which she did, right? And then ever since then, Megan Thee Stallion is actually trying to get off of, 1501 Certified Entertainment, which is Carl Crawford's record label. So we'll see what happens with that. But that whole situation that happened with him over the weekend is horrible, yo. And if I was him, man, I would probably move. I wouldn't even want to stay in that house anymore, knowing that like 2 people died in my pool, right? But let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. Yo, this is fire, right? Because, alright, so, maybe like a month ago, Joyner Lucas dropped a song called Will, right? And in the video, he was like just kind of paying homage to Will Smith and like giving him his flowers while he was still alive, right? Saying that basically Will Smith is an idol to him, he looks up to him, he watched him on, Fresh Prince. He liked all his music. He was, getting jiggy with it and doing the Wild Wild West and Summertime, all of that stuff, right? And it was kind of fire and dope that Joyner Lucas was like giving props to Will Smith, right? Will Smith saw it and he was like, yo, this is fire, and did like a little video like, yo, shout out to Joyner Lucas, this is dope, I love the song, my man's put me onto it, whatever, right? But now Will Smith jumped on the remix to the song, right? And I wouldn't even call it really the remix because Joyner Lucas ain't in it. It's just like Will Smith going off for like 2 minutes straight. And I'm telling you right now, yo, Will Smith bodied this shit, right? This has got to be lyrically, I'm talking lyrically, probably one of the best verses Will Smith has put on a record in the last like 15 years or something, right? The flow is different, right? He said, you feeling like me, I'm feeling like blah, da, 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 da. Like he's switched up the flow a little bit. He was giving props to people that he looked up to, right? He was giving props to Nelson Mandela. He was giving people their flowers while they were still alive, right? He was giving props to like Martin Lawrence and other people like that, right? He said, Joyner Lucas, I appreciate the fact that you look up to me and think I'm perfect, but I'm not perfect. I have my mistakes too, right? He was like, I still love my wife, Jada. He was talking about his kids. He was like, and I know, Joyner Lucas, that your son gonna grow up to be great too, right? It was fire just the way that he did that shit, right? And then, Crank Lucas, the nigga that actually produced the beat, did like a little interview where he was like talking about how it was an honor to have Will Smith jump on this beat that he produced for Joyner Lucas. And then he was just like, yo, I love Will Smith. He always tells the truth in his raps because, I don't tell the truth. I be lying in my raps, funny as shit, right? But the whole situation is dope. I think that it's cool that Will Smith was, humble enough to jump on a Joyner Lucas song. I think that he felt honored. I think that he did it because, he was like, yo, this kid is like really fucking with my shit, right? And I think it's dope. And also Will Smith kind of just talked about how he has a responsibility to nurture the people that do look up to him, that do want to, walk in his footsteps and everything like that, right? So I thought it was cool, man. Let me know what y'all think about this and everything else in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Follow me at Johnny Fastlane on Instagram, and y'all already know what to do. Peace.